Hey, what up everybody, it's Showtime, and before I even really get into this video, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. If you are the type of individual who looks at a title of a video before actually listening to the full content of the video to make your decision and you automatically dislike, then this video is not for you. Now getting into the subject of the video, I've seen as of recent, and I guess it's because a certain individual whose name will remain nameless decided to say something to the vegan community, or it was a subliminal shot, but whatever the case may be, I'm really starting to see the vegan community on YouTube grow. Like, there are channels that are specifically directed towards or concentrating upon the concept of veganism and displaying the lifestyle of veganism and the pros of it to their audience. Now, the next few things that I'm about to say doesn't necessarily reflect the things that I've seen from the vegan community on YouTube per se, but just people who claim to live the vegan lifestyle, period, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and in real life, where counts the most. And when I say what I'm about to say, I know this does not apply to everybody who is of the vegan movement, right? I understand that when it comes to movements, we have radicals of these movements that give everybody of that movement a bad name, or closed-minded people look at these few people who are a part of this movement and they decide to judge the whole group or the whole movement based upon a few people who do things like this. But to get a few things straight right off the bat, I don't really want to come off as I'm coming from a place of I know everything there is to know about veganism, because I don't. I'm coming more of a place of really wanting to understand more about the vegan culture, to understand what this is. And I'm just sharing with you my thoughts upon the vegan culture, and really coming from a place of wanting to know more. So if anybody who's watching this video is a vegan practitioner, please enlighten me on certain subjects that I touch in this video and post it in the comment section below so we can all learn from this. So with all that being said, I feel as though this whole veganism movement has a very religious connotation to it. And that's just how I personally feel as somebody who's not really a part of that movement. I'm starting to feel like it has a religious connotation to it. And the reason as to why I feel as such is because on YouTube and outside of YouTube, I see a lot of people who are practitioners of this vegan lifestyle or the vegan movement, and what they do is they criticize other people for eating what they eat, and they're calling them certain names and calling them heathens and all of this kind of stuff. And trust me, I'm well aware that people who do participate in eating meat, they criticize vegans and call them hippies and call them weirdos and all of this kind of stuff. I realize that there is a war. Well, I won't say a war, but I'm well aware that there are words being thrown back and forth over the fence between these two communities. But look, my whole thing is this: do we really have to go to war with and call people all the most nastiest things that you could possibly think of just because they don't eat the same thing as you? Like, when you really put this in perspective, is it really that serious? And believe you me, I am not talking out of my behind when I say this, because I've literally witnessed this on YouTube in the comment sections and in real life, hearing other people having dialogue. I've actually heard people who live the vegan lifestyle call other people heathens and say that they're sinning and all of this kind of stuff. So like I said before in the video, I'm coming from a place of wanting to know more about this. Do all vegans believe that if you are a meat eater that you are sinning, that it is a heathen type of activity? But my response to this whole heathen type of thing that people say is, if you look at nature and you look at the animals of nature, you see that you have the birds who swoop down into the rivers and eat the fish, and then you have the lions who chase the gazelles and eat them and have them for dinner or whatnot. You see that in the animal kingdom, and contrary to many people's beliefs, we are a part of the animal kingdom. Let's not forget that. Before we had to pay to live, and before society really grew the way it is, and that there are all these buildings and whatnot, we were once amongst animals. And if anybody who studies nature and studies environments and habitats and whatnot, you will understand that there is a food chain, right? And when you look at the food chain, you see that man is at the top of this whole animal kingdom hierarchy. And since we are a part of the animal kingdom, and the lower class of animals, they engage in activities of eating one another. And what I mean by eating one another, I don't mean necessarily of each kind, but as I mentioned before, you have the lions chasing the gazelles and that's their dinner, and then you have the birds swooping down into the river to eat the fish. That means that these animals were programmed innately knowing by their creator to eat one another in order to survive, and the survival of the fittest and how everything works, because it works in a balance type of thing. So if these animals did not play their role in nature and eat one another, then the whole food chain would be out of whack, and then you would have more caterpillars than such and such, and you would have more this than that, and there would just be an imbalance, and there would be a whole lot of disharmony. So as I said before, from a nature, food chain, survival of the fittest type of mentality or perspective and lens, I believe as though humans are justified in eating some type of meats. But I really believe this boils down to your reason for killing and eating the animals, and the way that you go about killing the animal. As we've seen in slaughterhouses and different corporations and whatnot, there is a whole lot of torturing of animals going on. The animals are put in very inhumane type of environments, and they're being tortured until they're finally killed. And a lot of people are really starting to wake up and agree that what these animals undergo is very unhealthy. So if they're in very unhealthy environments and they're killed and they're packaged up and they're given to you in the market, and then you eat this, then what is that doing to you? There are some meats like pork, for instance, that really isn't good for you. Whatever the pig eats is practically what you eat, and we know that pigs live in a very unsanitary environment. So everything that the pig has eaten is practically what you're going to be eating. But as far as my diet is concerned, the only 3 types of meat that I eat is fish, chicken, and turkey. Those are the only 3 meats that I allow myself to eat, because for some reason when I eat other type of meats, like I said, pork and anything heavier than that, I feel very sluggish. I don't feel like I'm at my top peak. My thoughts aren't as focused. I feel as though my ability to concentrate on subjects, it dwindles down. In a long drawn out way, all in all, I'm just practically saying that I feel as though it slows me down. When I've incorporated a lot more fruits and vegetables, and I've been drinking a whole lot more water into my diet, I feel as though my thoughts are a lot more sharper. I can concentrate a whole lot more. I have more motivation to keep providing videos for y'all like this. I feel a lot more energetic. I feel like I can accomplish a whole lot more because my body is lighter. And I'm a strong advocate of you are what you eat. But the whole purpose of eating your diet in general is so that you can get more energy into your body, and so that you can accomplish the things that you want to do, or the things that you have to do in life. That's the whole point of eating, is to gain energy. But in conclusion, and this is just my perspective from the reality that I'm living, I feel as though unless somebody's eating another human being or another individual, then we really shouldn't judge them. We shouldn't judge them based on their diet. And that's just personally how I feel. There shouldn't be a war going on over whose diet is right and whose diet is wrong, because in all honesty, at the end of the day, does it really matter? And if it really does matter, and if it really does mean that much to you, please explain in the comment box below that somebody's diet should be a reason as to why you shouldn't talk to them as a person, or you shouldn't hang out with them as a person. But in all honesty, I believe that wraps it up for this video. I really have no more to say on this subject. This video was a whole lot longer than what I anticipated it to be, but I tried to cover as much stuff as possible. I know I left out some things, and that's just gonna happen because this is a video, and with this topic in particular, there's so much that you can cover. So anything that I left out, feel free to put in the comment box your opinions or perspectives on that, and any points that I've made in the video that you feel that you could clearly elaborate on, please put that in the comment box as well. The whole point is to enlighten people and to get people moving forward and to gain more knowledge. And like I said before, it's SHOWTIME, your favorite rapper and favorite person, and if you ain't authentic, we ain't conversing. Till next time.
I'm telling you, there's a whole lot better go and tell the truth. Got bars of the whole jail cell is proof. Knock you out, then I go ahead and bail the tooth. To the crib that you're staying at, lay you flat, lying, saying you banging scrap, face the fact, aim attack, I'ma go ahead and